Good morning. I'm really beginning to like that post. Um, Now, there's a couple of things I want to do on the police later on, but I haven't quite put that one together yet. Plus, this time I want to finish the paper before having to do 3 separate videos on the same thing. However, this is standing by itself. Council come calling over voter registration. Now, this is when, despite the fact when you move into a new property you sign the electoral register, the council send you this electoral register form out every year. What you're also doing by signing it is committing yourself to that coming year's council tax, because that's like a financial contract. But they don't tell you that bit, do they? Residents in Huntingdonshire are being urged to make sure they don't lose their right to vote as part of the annual voter registration process. And this Joanne Lancaster features in this. This is the head of HDC. Well, sorry, Joanne, I wouldn't vote anyway because you're all a bunch of liars who steal taxpayers' cash. So, door-to-door canvassers will be out over the next month visiting households in the district where no response has been received. I believe I got one recently and it went back with financial contract not accepted written on it. More than 78% of Huntingdonshire households have already returned their voter registration form, which they are required to do every year. No, you're not. There is no legal thing to say that you have to sign a form. Especially, and this is very sneaky with these ones because it doesn't tell you you're committing yourself to the council tax, but especially if people are demanding money, there's no legal thing to make you sign a form because you're then entering into a financial contract against your will. This has been covered quite recently on the channel. Apart from being a legal requirement, no, it's not. Completing the form is essential for anyone who wants to vote in the forthcoming elections, as well as the assisting anyone wanting to apply for credit. Well, Joanne and your friends at the police, I've got 2 illegal CCJs on my account, on my credit file by these bulk business courts who just push the paperwork through and it doesn't even go to court. So I couldn't give a fuck about my credit rating. Those who have not yet responded will now receive a personal visit to confirm their details. Well, they'll be wearing jackboots and have little moustaches. Sorry, that was a cheap shot, but you know. Canvassers working on behalf of Huntingdonshire District Council are easily identifiable with ID badges on display. Yes, you notice the word working on behalf of. Not for, not with, working on behalf of. And I once did a sales job actually where we used to use that as a line because it appears that you're tied into the product you're selling or whatever. When really it actually puts you under no legal obligation if that product would fail or it's not what the buyer expects. The purpose of their call is to confirm the details of the household with simple questions, ensuring that everyone eligible to vote will be able to take part in forthcoming elections. Well, I can't say that enough, can they? Do you know that's like 3 times now, isn't it? You must sign it if you want to vote, you know. She's being all trendy. She's Jo Lancaster, not Joanne. Jo Lancaster, electoral registration officer at Huntingdonshire District Council, said, completing the form is required by law. No, it's not. And if you don't register, you can't vote. This applies to voting locally in elections as well as the forthcoming county council election in May 2017. As well as allowing you to vote, being on the electoral register helps to confirm your address, especially by credit reference agencies when someone applies for credit, such as a mortgage, personal loan, or even a mobile phone. Don't ask me about it. I don't know how people get round that if they don't sign it. I rather suspect that you're on the electoral register because you sign it when you move in. But if you haven't signed it at all, so don't ask me about that. I don't know. If you are not registered, you might well be refused credit, as well as losing your right to vote. I think that's 4 times, isn't it? Voting seems to be very important to these people. Residents can either return their forms in the envelopes provided or respond by telephone, online, or text. The council says that completing the forms should only take a few minutes. So that's a pack of lies, basically. I think 3 or 4 times they said it was law that you must sign it. 3 or 4 times they kept on banging on about you won't be allowed to vote. So this is typical Hunt's Post basically siding with the council, all bought and paid for. But it is fun for me, anyway. So anyway, I'm just going to upload this one. Then I've got to pop off out for a while, kids, so I may not be online for a bit. But I hope you enjoy this one.